Hey, YouTube, how's it going? Get scared. We got a rap goat list. We got Hey, YouTube, how's it going? Get scared. You guys read the title. You guys know what the fuck is up. I'm gonna shrink myself. This is the 2026 rap goat list. I'm tired of all these people, saying some bullshit. And also, I've updated. I've matured with a year's time. So this is my updated goat list. Before we begin, this is how I count goat status. This is Chunk Dirty. Shout out to Chunk Dirty. If you know, you know. Most important thing, you got to be best in class. You got to be best in your era. Oh my God, this thing is kicking my ass. You got to be best in class, best in era. Your music's got to have aged well. You got to have mic talent. You got to have lyricism. You got to have great production. You got to have influence on the game. You can't just be like some guy that spits bars in his basement and not contribute to shit. You got to be contributing to the game. You got to be respected by others. You got to have that longevity. And of course, commercial success is important to an extent. Now, I'm tired of you guys always mentioning these fucks in the GOAT conversation. I realize that I am too high. I'm tired of you guys always mentioning these guys. Jay-Z's not in the fucking GOAT conversation. I don't care what the media's got you believing in. This guy, I can't name you a time where he was best in class. Maybe he had a year or two, but he was not best in class for what he was doing. Nas was way better as a New York rapper than Jay-Z will ever be. And he still is timeless to this day. Nas is. Didn't he win a Grammy like 5 years ago? Yeah, Jay-Z ain't doing that shit now. All right, he made some album like, oh, I'm sorry I cheated on Beyonce. Phony. ASAP Ferg, I used ASAP Ferg here. This goes for anybody who is in a group and is clearly not the best guy in class. ASAP Rocky clears Ferg. I'm sorry. As far as GOAT status is considered, you may prefer Ferg, but you got to understand that ASAP Rocky is just so much better all-time GOAT status than Ferg is. Right? I'm tired of you guys always bringing up these sleepers. Another example is Schoolboy Q. I don't even know if he's in the honorable mentions or not. A lot of folks are like, man, Schoolboy Q or J-Rock or anybody in Top Dog, Absol, Isaiah Rashad. Why are you guys mentioning these guys in conversations with people like Tupac and Biggie? It's because they're signed to some Top Dog Entertainment that has Kendrick Lamar. All right? Only one of those guys belongs in the conversations, and we'll touch on that in a second. Dax, I don't give a shit. All right? Mike Talent aside, he can rhyme. He can rap fast. I get it. He's corny, the corny tax. And yes, there's a guy in the honorable mentions that's also corny, not to the same degree. Pusha T, it's just not it for me. It's the same shit. It's just, man, I sell Coke. Look, it's great that you sell Coke. You always talking about Pusha Nose Candy. I got 10 slots and he's not in the 10 slots. So I'm sorry. But and I saw in a comment on my last GOAT list, someone was mentioning Pusha T. I don't know what it is. Daytona was hype, I guess, but I don't have him in my top 10. And I'm tired of people having that. Snoop Dogg too. Who the fuck actually enjoys Doggy Style by Snoop Dogg? Was he influential? I guess so. I mean, everyone and their mom knows who Snoop Dogg is. So he's going to make more money than I'll ever do. He makes more money. He pays his blunt rollers more than I will ever get paid in a lifetime, Joyner Lucas has Mike Talent, but I don't give a fuck, dude. He's not in the GOAT conversation. Drake is commercially successful, but that doesn't mean shit to me. If you're just commercially successful and have ghostwriters writing your shit, your ghostwriter Daylight is better all time than you. JID, I think it's too young right now, but again, same with the Ferg thing. I think that J. Cole was better off Dreamville for now. JID could easily take over Cole, though, because I'm thinking about it, and it's like, what the fuck has Cole done for the game? These are drill rappers, and also shout out to Skepta. No, it's not going to cut it for me. You got to have some influence in the States. The States is really where the rap game's at. I'm sorry, UK drill can be hype at times, but they're Skepta. That's really the only one that even gets to be at the table of discussions, but he's not in my GOAT conversation at all. These people actually, I think, do deserve an honorable mention, and I'll touch on everyone real quick, and then we'll get to the top 10. Just so you guys understand sort of how I stand here. Scarface, Southern legend. Andre 3000, I think that doesn't need any explanation. Lil Wayne is going to be an honorable mention this year. So is Andre 3000. They were in my top 10 last year, but I've shifted my leaderboard a little bit. Still got to give a quick shout out to Lauryn Hill and Angel Hayes. J. Cole deserves a mention. Rakim deserves a mention. 50 Cent, I guess, also deserves a mention. Like, these are all guys that are pretty good. I wouldn't consider them best in class at any point, especially J. Cole. Like, he was never best in class. He was never the best rapper on the planet. I'm not putting Logic in here because to all my folks that grew up at the same time as me, you would know J. Cole, Kendrick, and Logic were like the top three for a minute. Not even Drake, but it was those three. And nobody was taking that shit serious. Let's keep it real. Shout out LP. I only could fit one member of each sort of rap group into the list, so I cut LP. Spoilers: Killer Mike is on this list. Obviously, I got to have The Game in here. I think he is one of the more influential Compton rappers of all time. I think he was sort of the bridge between the old school hip hop, like in the West Coast, and he was sort of a pioneer to lay the grounds for people like Kendrick Lamar. I'd go as far as to say he is the most influential Compton rapper of all time, aside from Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, that's why The Game deserves a mention. Tech Nine is lyrically insane, and he's like maybe one of the best underground rappers of all time. I also have Twista and Busta Rhymes here for their lyrical skills as well. A shout out to Busta Rhymes especially. That guy, I loved Busta Rhymes as a kid. I was so impressed. I would try and learn his lyrics, and then I learned that I'm white, and I can't say like half the words he says. Common. I read an article that said that Common was the greatest rapper from Chicago. He's not. You know who I have above Common in the Chicago list? Chief Keef. Guys, Chief Keef might actually be like a top 5 most influential rapper ever. Nobody was moving like Chief Keef. Shout out Katy Perry, too. I mean, created maybe the greatest beat the hood had ever seen. Not that I would know. I'm not from the hood, clearly. But yeah, Hopsin, I think Hopsin deserves a mention. I think people forget his online impact in like the late 2000s, early 2010s. This dude somehow solved that shit well before everyone else. So shout out to Hopsin. Only thing is he is a cornball, but I still have him over someone like Dax due to his online influence. Lupe Fiasco was killing it in the 2000s. If you want to argue he's best in class, fine. Eazy-E was killing it in the 90s. Still one of the most influential rappers to this day. Only member of NWA I'll have in this honorable mentions. Dre's not here. Sorry, it's just that the game has changed so much. It's been almost 30 years since we had like the prime of, many of these 90s rappers. And so much has happened in 30 years. It'd be ignorant to say that, these folks are still top 10 because I don't think they are. Mac Miller deserves a mention. Mac Miller, obviously, he was best in class for what he was doing. He had his own lane and he stuck with it. And I like that about him. Bobby Shmurda also deserves a mention. Bobby Shmurda, you guys have no idea how hard Bobby Shmurda went. He pioneered many modern crash outs like Tay-K. Okay, I'm stretching a little bit, but Bobby Shmurda goes fucking dummy. All right, go listen to Bobby Shmurda. X was a SoundCloud rapper. I think he was the best in class for those SoundCloud rappers. If you want to argue Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Yachty, Ugly God, you're not getting away with Ugly God. But the others, if you want to argue them, fine. Jaron Benton, I guess I could put him in the other one. I feel like Jaron Benton deserves a special shout though because he was also hard as fuck in that Funk Volume label. I don't have him here, but quick shout out to Joey Badass. Pro Era. Shout out to Steez and Joey Badass. I think they deserve a nod as well in these conversations. Big Pun is lyrically insane. I will not take any slander from my boy Pun. What do you guys know about Big Pun? ASAP Rocky. I enjoy some good ASAP. Tyler deserves a mention. He's the best in his own class. He does his own thing, and it works so well. I prefer old Tyler to new, but some people, whatever it is. I had him really high last year. I had him in high regards, and then I listened to the new album, and it's like, okay, we're seeing a little bit of a regress here. Aesop Rock deserves a mention. His vocabulary is ridiculous. Same does Earl Sweatshirt. Now, it's been 10 minutes. Let me get to the actual GOAT list so I don't piss you guys off. we have at the number 10 spot Immortal Technique. All right. I will not hear any slander against Immortal Technique. He is the greatest independent rapper of all time. His lyricism is insane. He has maybe the greatest storytime rap ever. The darkest hip hop song many people claim, Dance with the Devil. If you haven't listened to it, I recommend it. Please go listen to Dance with the Devil. The only caveat to Immortal Technique is that he doesn't have enough commercial buzz. You know, and I do count that a little bit. So his influence is recognized, but it's not to the same scale as a Kendrick Lamar or an Eminem, who I have on this list as well. So gotta give a quick shout out to Immortal Technique though. Insane. I got Tupac and Biggie in the same spot. You can put one or the other. I'm not going to argue which one's better. Some days I prefer Pac. Some days I prefer Biggie. They're arguably the most influential rappers of all time, especially like historically speaking. They changed the game. They had the greatest beef of all time. Some would argue they had the greatest diss tracks of all time. But they passed away way too young. And I think the coasts have evolved from their sound. Their sound is slightly dated. If you're still digging that sort of old school hip hop, these two are best in class. But it's dated. You can't argue with me that their music isn't dated, because it is. Classics, dated. All right, I'm sorry. I love these guys. Okay, like this was hard. This was a hard list for me to make, and you guys got to understand why I'm putting everyone else above these two. It's not that I'm ignorant to their influence. I just have other rappers above them, like the battle rappers. I think these battle rappers are so criminally underrated, and they have their own lane. They're all best in class. Loaded Lux, Murda Mook, Hollow the Dawn. These are the three consensus goats. You can obviously talk about Diz or Charlie Clips or any of these other guys. I have these three because this is who I grew up on. Mostly Loaded Lux, actually. You guys need to go listen to some battle rap, dude. The lyricism these guys put on is insane. They've carved their own path in the rap game. It is a lot of a cappella, so if you're someone that cares about a beat or a melody or whatever, fine. Pure bars, pure lyricism. These guys are on another level. So, you can check out Lux. You can check out Murda Mook. Hollow the Dawn as well. They're all tough. I watched this video when I was a kid. It changed my life. It was like greatest battle rap bars of all time. And it wasn't any of these three. It was that Tay-Rock seatbelt uppercut. Oh, the seatbelt won't buckle up bar. You guys, I'm telling you. That shit, I threw the phone across the room. I'm white. And I was throwing the phone across the room. Shit goes hard. All right? Go give these guys a listen. They are influential. They are pioneering the game. They're not like Daylight also ghostwrites for Drake. So these guys do exist. You just don't know them because you're not tapped in on this battle rap shit. We got Nas. GOAT debut album, GOAT diss track. He's got the longevity, but again, he's slightly dated. I think he's definitely like he hasn't evolved the same way I'd like him to evolve compared to many other rappers. And I even though he didn't, I'm pretty sure he didn't win a Grammy with Illmatic. Maybe because greatest rap album of the year wasn't, or best album of the year wasn't out for rap. But he did peak with his debut album Illmatic, and I think everyone could tell you that. So it's been like I mean, he's gone up. He's had some fall up, then he came back. And he's still pretty good to this day. But that Illmatic, it's tough to sort of come back from what might be like some people's number one rap album of all time. It's not my number one. We'll talk about that. But it's in the conversation for sure, especially if you're talking pure rap and influence. It might actually be up there. Yes, I have Killer Mike above all these other guys. And you can also throw LP in here if you prefer LP. I just had to pick one. Killer Mike's rapping is fucking ridiculous. No one does it like him in the modern day, except like LP and the number one spot and the number 2 spot and the number 4 spot. But this guy rightfully won a Grammy. I don't care what you guys got to say about Travis Scott getting robbed. He didn't. Michael was a miles better album. Go listen to that shit. The only caveats I'll have against him is he is in a group, which is Run the Jewels. And there are times where LP actually schools Killer Mike. Some people even say he's better than Killer Mike. I don't have him that far, but because of the Grammy, but shout out to Killer Mike, man. That guy, like, even Kendrick Lamar said something along the lines of, like, if you cared about rapping, Killer Mike would have gone platinum. Just goes to show that even he gets his nod from his peers. Quit sleeping on Killer Mike and go listen to some fucking Killer Mike. You know? Yeah, that's all I'm going to say for that. I could keep going on. Like, he might be the GOAT of the South. MF Doom. All right? MF Doom has the greatest lyricism ever. Undefeated vocabulary. I talked about this in my last video. He rhymed 3,4-methylene dioxymethamphetamine. Undefeated. How do you do that? And it was like, oh, you know, it's like, he didn't say like, yeah, I got a scheme, 3,4-methylene dioxymethamphetamine. No, he rhymed every syllable. It's insane. Madvillainy is also a top 5 rap album ever. I will not dispute that. The only caveat to him is that his albums have filler. I had some other things too, but I mean, it's MF Doom. There's nobody even close. And you can go, like, he has songs with some of these other GOATs. You can go listen to them. He holds his own, and it's not the speed, it's not the voice, it's the bars. It's bars on top of bars on top of bars. Nobody's even close. Not even the number 4 spot, if I'm right here, Eminem. Eminem's like the Wilt Chamberlain of rap. You know, he's got the insane talent, commercial buzz. He's pioneered everyday vocabulary. You know, the term stan. You know, he's so good at diss tracks too. I'd consider him the GOAT. We don't even know the guys he dissed anymore in the big 2-6, you know? He's got this untouchable aura, and he is the GOAT on paper, you know, the paper GOAT. You know, like when you see Wilt Chamberlain averaging 50 in a season, and you're like, damn, Wilt Chamberlain is the fucking GOAT. Well, hold on there. You know, slow down, Speedy Gonzalez. Let's zoom back, you know, zoom out a little bit. I can't get through a full Eminem project. I've tried on 5 different occasions. This is like Family Guy and The Godfather, you know? Eminem is very dated. As far as his music. And I don't think he's been able to evolve his sound to the same extent as these other guys to where I can enjoy it to the extent that I want to enjoy Eminem. I'm sure if I was a millennial or a Gen Xer, I'd be sitting here saying Eminem's the GOAT, no one's touching him. And if you have that opinion, that's fine. I think Eminem is a mandatory top 10, almost mandatory top 5. You know? I do think that if you don't have Eminem in your top 10, I think you're bogus. I think if you don't have Eminem in your top 5, you're bogus. Because if you look at the stats, you look at the numbers, nobody's better than Eminem. It's all up to personal preference, though, but you need to have him in these conversations. Because I do think he's better than MF Doom. The only thing MF Doom hasn't beat on is like bars and wordplay. But Eminem schools everyone on almost everything else. I have to have him at number 4, though, because at number 3... we got Kanye West. Kanye West is the greatest production of all time. Some people even consider him like one of the best musicians ever. Not rappers, musicians. College Dropout to Donda, that streak will be studied in like 100 years from now. When they talk about some of the greatest composers of the contemporary period, they're going to mention Kanye West and his amazing run. You know, he also dropped, you know, he's got 808s and Heartbreak, which is one of the more influential albums ever. He's got Yeezus, which is one of the more influential albums ever. People will say he's a modern day Michael Jackson. You know, if they decide to remember him because of all the shit that he's doing. He has undeniable duds, like Vultures. And, you know, like his production, I think, carries him as well. It's not like he's not a lyrical genius or anything like that. Talking about some keep it 300 like the Romans when, you know, Spartans aren't Romans. But I think that it's undeniable to doubt Kanye's influence, to doubt Kanye's aura, his musical production. He will be studied more than I think any other rapper on this list, but he's number 3. If you guys remember my last GOAT list, you'll know I had Kendrick Lamar at number 1. Kendrick Lamar is the greatest album ever. If you want to count classical, maybe, fine. To Pimp a Butterfly, no, he didn't win a Pulitzer Prize off that. To Pimp a Butterfly is the greatest album, I think, ever. The storytelling, the blending of genres, just the poem, the message it has to the community, untouchable. Anyone a Pulitzer Prize, but damn, he's respected, and I think he is the final form of West Coast rap. I think he really did carry that torch that was set by rappers before him like Tupac, Snoop, Dr. Dre, and yes, The Game. I will say The Game is important here too. And he evolved it into this contemporary form that just makes West Coast sound timeless. He will be timeless. I really have nothing against him. Maybe the Drake beef was a little bit corny, but and his fans are annoying as shit. But I can't dot Kendrick Lamar off of that. The only thing I'll say is that the number one rapper on my GOAT list is just better. And my number one rapper, if you saw the thumbnail, you might be able to tell who it is. It's Black Thought. Black Thought is the greatest lyricism. He has some of the greatest bars ever. He's layered. He's got entendres on top of entendres. He has the greatest freestyle of all time on Funk Flex Hot 97. His 10-minute freestyle clears most people's discographies. He raps so good, it negates all the negatives. Yes, are a lot of his beats the same, like boom bap style? Maybe. Doesn't matter. His best work's on the Roots. We can forgive that. Or it's on collabs. We can forgive that. He's slept on, so he doesn't have the same commercial buzz as a Kendrick Lamar or an Eminem. It doesn't matter. Black Thought's got bars. He was on Jimmy Fallon. You know, he's Jimmy Fallon's like band. Doesn't matter. He's got bars on top of bars. My introduction to you, if you're going to go listen to Black Thought, is to listen to that Hot 97 Funk Flex freestyle. Just 10 minutes of straight lyricism. Then, you know, the world is your oyster. Then you'll understand what I mean when I say Black Thought's the greatest rapper of all time. If you're going off the freestyle alone. I like the song Fentanyl. I'm trying to think of some other ones. I really like Steak 'Em with Schoolboy Q. Schoolboy Q had a good performance on there too. Black Thought really is the guy, like the Dave Chappelle sample. Just damn, chef's kiss. We're talking this guy, I think, is the final form of rap. I think any song he gets on, he's going to kill it. He's going to renegade everybody. He'll renegade Killer Mike. He'll renegade Eminem. You know, if he and Kendrick were on a song, he'd renegade Kendrick Lamar. Nobody comes close, in my opinion, to the GOAT status of Black Thought. And with that, I've been Ked. Thank you so much for watching. And go listen to Black Thought. Go listen to Kendrick. Go listen to Kanye. And tell me your GOAT list in the comment section below, because I understand that my GOAT list isn't going to be the same as yours or somebody else's. And I'll probably do this every year just because it's fun for me to go back and go, wow, I really was a poser. Or wow, I really did have the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef. You know, it was living in my head rent free. These sorts of things really do evolve with time and with thought. Black Thought, no, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's been a fun GOAT list. I've been Ked. Thank you so much for watching, and please love thy neighbor. All right, get out of here. Love your mom. Bye.